I guess most well-wishers, are very happy that the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, arrived town yesterday. And, one of our regulars, Reverend Dominic, who had asked the other time where exactly the president-elect will be landing, well, he got his answer because Tinubu was at his Asokoro home yesterday. Indeed, barely 24 hours before landing, it was down to business. He actually met with the National Working Committee of APC, led by its chairman, Abdullahi Adamu. And there's a connection between that and our subject matter today, because the meeting, which was of the National Working Committee of APC, it also at the president-elect's home, it was principally to begin, I think, consultations on key offices that are now front and center, talking about the Senate President, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, their deputies, and other key speakers. As you know by now, of course, quite a number of people are laying claim from just about all the regions. In that sense, we will be talking this morning with an august guest, the governor of Ebonyi State and APC senator-elect for the Ebonyi South Senatorial District, Governor David Umahi. A fine morning to you, Mr. Governor.
Thank you, and good morning to you, and good morning to our viewers.
Indeed. Well, first of all, any word at all about your leader, your national leader, the president-elect, arriving town yesterday?
Yes. We're very grateful to God for Johnny Macy's. While he was there, I was in Israel, the Holy Land, and, I spoke with him. And I was very excited that it's, very strong and very much determined to do the assignment that God gave to him. I also spoke with Her Excellency, the wife. Very excited he's back home.
Exactly. Well, okay. Now, to cut to the chase, because I imagine there's so much that we could talk about. First of all, your beloved Ebonyi State, ongoing developmental work ongoing there. But I thought we'd come to, what must be uppermost on your, I don't know if it's uppermost on your mind because you're still fully in charge and still working in Ebonyi. But I'm talking here of consequences of your being successful in the senatorial race. But beyond that, I have it on reliable authority that you are not adverse to any senior position in the National Assembly. Never mind your being, a rookie senator, as they speak. But rookie or not, still a distinguished senator.
Well, as you know, I'm contesting for the leadership of, the Senate, the 10th Senate, the presidency of, the 10th Senate. And, that is what the position is. And I've made it very clear that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and of course the Senate, policies, allow me to, contest. But, the leader of the president-elect, the vice president-elect, the chairman of our party, the working committee of our party, they must sit together and take decision. And so, for me, it's not do or die affair, because I believe that everyone runs the destiny of his or her life. But you must indicate interest. And I feel very strongly that I'm qualified to lead the 10th Senate. And that's why I'm in the race.
But as you just said, this is going to be a collective decision of the party, I imagine. It'll be up to the senators. When you're sworn in, you people will actually, the ball will be squarely in your court and you will actually, quote unquote, do the deed. But consultation is going on right now, and all sorts of rationales for being chosen are being heard. First of all, we hear about what everybody has brought to the table, and you know all the, we've heard about rankings, there are arguments for and against rankings. You've just indicated that the Constitution enables everybody who is duly elected to contest for that office. But in terms, when you said you're interested, might I inquire what it is that you would be bringing to the party by way of your application? I mean that because I've been hearing so many different rationales. I did this, we did this, we have benefited the party in this way. Do you think you might be a bit thin on the ground there or not? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear me? Did you hear the question?
No, I didn't hear all the question.
Okay. What I was saying essentially is that maybe you'd like to share with us, you being a new senator and you're aspiring for the top job in the Senate, what it is that you would be bringing, as it were, to it, because everybody is sort of saying, this is my contribution, I deserve this. Now, you are an administrator par excellence. You know, there's no doubt about that. So there's no matter of competency. But I imagine it's going to be a bit more than that. Or what do you think? Especially, look at the case where you are from the Southeast, one of the 6 geopolitical zones that are interested in it. What would you think you would be bringing to the table that would sort of make your case, as it were, quite buoyant?
Well, you know, you have asked 2 questions, but you're omitting one. One is, you know, the stake. What have we brought to the table? And then, as the president of Senate, what one is, you know, is going to be bringing to the table? You know, first and foremost, you have to understand this journey, the success of APC to in the national election. And I can give you the stages of what happened, the way God had, you know, outlined it. And I believe strongly that the president-elect and the leadership of our party will not neglect this. First, the 3 governors moved. You know, I started the movement. I decamped from PDP to APC, followed by, you know, Governor Yade, and followed by the Governor Matalawe, the governor of Zamfara State. So these 3, you know, key governors that moved provided a very strong, you know, background for APC. APC became stronger. APC increased in the number of the House of Assembly members and National Assembly members, and also the number of governors. So that is step 1, and I think is the doing of God. And don't forget that when APC defeated PDP, there was such a movement, you know, which helped, you know, APC. Now this movement, you know, very strong, and it is very key in the success of APC. And of course, we faced a lot of persecutions all over, you know, from all corners, but we stood our ground. Then the second one is the G5 governors. And then the G5 governors, you know, stood, you know, their ground, supporting that power should move from, you know, north to south for equitable Nigeria and for peace and unity. And that also helped. And in particular is Governor Wike. And so this assistance and this leadership of G5 must not be neglected. And then during the election, the number of people that are also in support that the power should move to south, like former Governor Fauci.
We're having network challenges, but Governor Umahi will.
And so, talking about what one is bringing or what one has brought to the table, I've also made Ebonyi State, which was a hitherto at the PDP stronghold, is now APC stronghold. I brought the 3 senators, you know, to APC. I brought over 21 of the House of Assembly members out of 24. I brought 3 National Assembly out of, that's House of Rep, out of 6. We're still going to take the other 3 in the tribunal because it was obvious manipulation. And so I have a lot in terms of what I brought to the table of APC as regards the success of APC in the general elections. So I'm duly qualified. I have a stake because I took the greatest risk in leaving PDP to APC. I also stood my ground, whether through all challenges, and then, God saw me through. And I always quote the faith I profess. When God was leading the children of Israel to the promised land, Joshua and Caleb were sent to go and spy the land. And then other people were sent along with them. So they made, good reports, the Caleb and Joshua. So they don't be giants in the land, were able to take it. And the other people say that, were like grasshoppers. So they were afraid. They made an evil report. When it was time to share the land, Joshua and Caleb, they had a stake. And also, so it's the same thing like what we are talking now. What have we brought to the table? So we have a stake, in Ebonyi State. I have a stake as the senator-elect, as the governor of the state, to ask for this position.
Indeed.
That is number 1. Number 2, APC was never very much the dominant party in Southeast. We made APC the dominant party in Southeast. Out of the 5 governors, 2 are APC, 1 Labour, 1 PDP, 1 APGA. So we are the majority party in Southeast now. And for me, it's a miracle. And for me, it is bringing something to the table. And so we have a lot.
Indeed.
We have brought to the table. And then what am I going to do? Yeah.
So please,
what am I going to do for the,
please
for
continue.
the 10th Senate? Yeah. The 10th Senate, you see, when you talk about ranking is talking about experience. Party chairman for 5 years, deputy governor for 4 years under a very distinguished disciplinarian and tactician and strategist, Chief Martin Elechi, the governor of the state, the immediate past governor of the state, and then being a governor for almost 8 years. The experience is there. And you can come to Ebonyi and see what one has done in Ebonyi State. I've also brought the governor, elect under APC. And so there is, continuity. And you will find out what we have done in Ebonyi State. And you can't do all these things without understanding the nature of the people. So I can, in summary, say that through the special grace of God, that I'm an administrator and I'm a team player. I've stood for the unity of the country. I've stood against the issue of separation and agitation, by my brothers IPOP. I stood against them. I feel that the Southeast is stronger under equitable Nigeria, and this is what I've stood for. And I have great respect among leaders of Southeast. I do have great respect. They have respect for me, for my honesty, for my forthrightness, for my hard work, for my commitment, for the experience, for the wisdom and the grace of God.
Indeed. Thank you very much. And as you know, you are not the only senator from the Southeast that is vying for the top job in the Senate. How would you sort of explain or comment the presidential election? So did the president, so did the president-elect, lose the presidential election in their states of origin. What do you think was going on there? What were the people saying?
Well, in all honesty, I'm as surprised as probably you're surprised, because I never gave any foothold to Labour Party because of what we have done in Ebonyi State.
We're still having challenges, viewers. Okay, Governor, your audio drifted out. So could you go back to the beginning of that answer about the surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, I'm so surprised that Labour Party could have any foothold during the presidential election, because we have worked so hard for the people, and we command the love and loyalty of our people, the people of Ebonyi State, and they have always believed us. And so the issue is that, of course, Ebonyi State is a Christian state, and the issue of Muslim ticket, we didn't know it was that very serious among, our people, especially the people of Southeast. And they didn't want us, and I think it was out of respect, yeah, that we were talking to them and they were accepting. But I think in their mind, they needed, to vote for somebody, who is a Christian. And I always say to my brothers, let the measure of success for the Labour Party not be taken for, personal. It was a protest vote, against the perceived Muslim ticket, and a protest vote against the PDP, because the Southeast, we've labored so much for PDP, and that's the reason I left PDP, and there was no reward. And I knew they were going to betray PDP, which they eventually did. So this way, the protest vote going on in Southeast. But God saw us through, because God also, sees the heart of men. And we were able to get some votes for President Ahmed, Asuwaju. So that is the major reason. So it was not a vote per se because they like Labour Party. It's for me a protest vote. And that's why in subsequent elections, we got everything.
I'm happy that you're with us, because you can comment on some of the arguments that we're seeing out there by knowledgeable people in the field. In the South, we got the Southwest, we got the South-South, we got the Southeast. Now, when the Southwest is out of it, the Southeast that you represent, but not solely, you also have other brothers representing the Southeast in the Senate. The question of, I don't know what your comment would be, that, wait a minute, the Southeast has produced eminent Senate presidents in the past. The South-South has been, in this regard, in the Sahara Desert. Nothing has been shaking. And so those who are favoring the South-South would say, shouldn't it be time? Those who are favoring the Southeast are saying that there's a strategic aspect to all of this. One, if you're going to assuage some hurt feelings, you might want to go to the Southeast. But the gentlemen, the party men who are with the president-elect trying to determine those things, they will come up with an answer. But maybe I could get your quick reaction to, between the South-South and the Southeast, the Southeast is experienced at being Senate president. The South-South hasn't had a chance before. What would you say to that?
Well, you see, the Southeast, for me, I have respect for Southeast the same way I have respect for South-South, because, even those who are contesting from South-South that I know, Senator Fabio is my very good friend, and I've known him for a very long time. And then, Comrade Adam Oshima. So these are good people. In the Southeast, I also have Senator Joseph Carlo, Senator Izuna. So these are wonderful, good people. But let us be a bit objective. Our country has been badly so divided. During the national election, the Middle Belt, the Afenifere, some of them, they felt that the two sections of this country, the two regions that have never had, a presidency of this country, they are Southeast and the Northeast. And they felt that there is a need to allow the Southeast to have a stake in the presidency. Of course, I supported that. That's why I contested for the candidacy of our party, the APC. And that's why I also left PDP, because I felt that PDP, having been supported so much by the Southeast, that it was time for them to also consider Southeast, for their candidacy. And then that didn't happen. And of course, Asuwaju came. If we understand life, we should understand that we all run our destinies. we understand that no man speaketh unless God has spoken. If we understand life, we understand that, it is God's will. And so when Ahmed Asiwaju emerged, we have to support him, even against, our people's interest, some of them, not all of them, to saying that, look, Muslim ticket. I didn't see Asiwaju or Shetima as people that are ruled by, religion. They have their own faith, but they don't bring it to intimidate anybody. And so for me, it was a non-issue. We have a job to be done. And that's why we felt that Asiwaju Ahmed and Shetima, they can do the job. Okay. And that's why we supported them. Okay. But that doesn't remove the perception of the issue of marginalization of Southeast. So in this case, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, a good man, a man that, hunts for talent irrespective of where you came from, and we use them. And this is what I told the international community, when they interviewed me before the election. I said the best is that this man is very intelligent, is very courageous, and he hunts for talents, and he uses talents, to achieve results. And so I believe strongly that the perception of Southeast is still not, assuaged. It's not, addressed. And I think that if number 3 position is given to Southeast, it will allow for inclusiveness. I'm not saying it must be me. I'm not saying zone it to me. No. Anyone that is better than me and whom God has called in Southeast could take the position. Okay. There is no saint here. There is nobody who is an armed robber. There's nobody who is a saint, so far you put on this flesh. So this issue of credibility is there, but it has to do with, people's perception in choosing whomever they.
Okay. Mr. Governor, I think the audio has gone out again. I'll just sort of wait for it to come back because this is quite interesting.
If God says it's me, there is no power that can stop it. Because when God, just like God spoke about Ahmed Tinubu, we had challenges. Only those who have the discerning of the Spirit knew that God has spoken concerning him. But many people did not give him chance. But because it's the will of God, he emerged against all permutations and obstacles and challenges. And I feel that my case will be as such. And I put my confidence in God.
Well, and, I'm delighted because you hear things and you don't really have perspective. But you said more than once here that it's not a do-or-die affair for you, even though you are very, very serious. Everything depends on the will of God, and you've also put some perspectives to that position. So thank you very much for that, because if one didn't hear from you, one might not get the clearest picture of that. Whereas you fully intend and are very serious in this pursuit, it still isn't a do-or-die affair, which is a very sportsmanlike thing to
but let me advise here. Yes. That one of the things that almost turned our party PC and would have affected our chances, and of course it did affect to a large extent, our chances in the national election, is the issue of encouraging everyone to be vying. The leadership of the party and the president-elect and the vice president-elect, and of course the outgoing president, they should meet quickly. And what should be uppermost in their heart number 1 is the unity of the country. Number 2 is the face of the administration. Number 3 is the inclusiveness. Everybody should be carried along so that we can build a united Nigeria. These are key issues. And so decisions should be taken. I don't think that any of us, if God says no to any of us, that we, be against the decisions, because the heart of the kings are the palm of the Lord. It's the Lord who will impute in the hearts of these leaders whom God has chosen to lead the 10th Senate. And so that decision should be taken very quickly so that people don't spend their money, people don't, labor so much, and at the end of the day, there is no free context. You will still have to say, okay, to manage the affairs of the country, to manage the affairs of the party, this should be. That decision has to happen very, very quickly. And everyone vying must be called to this decision making. That is my feeling. Okay. We shouldn't allow people to spend their money so much, lobby so much, and the promises are made and they are not kept, it will not be good for the next administration. The next administration is an administration that God has put together to rebuild the country. It is the administration that God has put together to, expose the greatness of this country and the riches of the country, and to lift the poor and the widows. And this should be the face of the administration.
So, and that's exactly is what is going on now. At the top of the program, the news is reporting that there's a meeting at the President-elect's Asokoro Abuja home. There was this meeting with all bigwigs involved, and this was, in fact, I had thought that you might have been at that meeting because even elected officials stakeholders were at that meeting. But if you weren't there, being a politician, you would have had your people who had your voice, or the other way around.
Well, the truth remains that nobody invited us for a meeting. If there is going to be such a meeting, then we should be formally invited. But I think that people went to greet the president-elect, and it was taken for a meeting.
Okay.
Because there is so much speculation in this country. If there will be such a decision, I don't think every Dick and Harry will be there. First, there will be meeting and consultation between the president-elect, the vice president-elect, and of course the leadership of the party, and probably they will have to consult President Buhari. And after they have done that, they may have their options, and then they will now invite those who are fine and begin to narrow down the options. I think that is what should happen. So I'm here in Ebonyi. I'm still working. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a test flight on one of our best airports in this country.
Indeed.
And that is what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Indeed, that is where I wanted to go. I wanted to go there because you're still fully in charge in Ebonyi.
Before you depart that, let me also advise that all those who will take this decision should free their minds, about Southeast. Southeast is an important part of this country. Nobody should be afraid of Southeast. If Southeast people, they stake their lives, they stake their reputation, their integrity to stand for APC. And so at a time of decision, what should be uppermost is not the number of votes that were brought to APC, but we also did bring votes to APC. But let us address whatever is the perceived injustice, and then relaunch Southeast in the mainstream of the society of Nigeria. And it is also very important that in taking these decisions, that no one is going to exclude any zone. Let us be very fair. God is a fair God. And when we do that, I believe strongly that even the issue of agitation, which we promised while we were campaigning, that the APC will take care of Southeast, and that we want to remain in a federating Nigeria because we are stronger and better. And let nobody think that one region is not important in this country. Any region at all, the chain as strong as the weakest link. If a region is neglected and agitation continues, you may have won the election, you may want to lead, but you need peace to lead. And to lead in peace, you need equity, fairness, and justice. So I believe that this fair God that brought us fairly to leadership will lead the hearts of our leaders, so that decision taken, all the regions of this country will be carried along, and we rebuild, the Nigeria society, we rebuild our regions, we rebuild ourselves, and then we bring out the best. This is a very, very great country. The resources of this country are so enormous if we can all come together and put Nigeria first. That's what I want to say about that.
Right then. Okay, Senator, I'm going to take a break now, a very short break. We'll be right back, and we can continue on that theme. But I also wanted to touch on some of the things you just mentioned, because as I said, you're a hands-on governor still. It looks like you're going to be working until the very, very last day. So we look at some of those infrastructural deliveries when we return from the break. Stay with us, please.
Okay. Thank you.
In the month of April, 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day. while April 7th is World Health Day. And on the 14th is the 9th anniversary when government girls secondary school students in Chibok, Borno State, were abducted by Boko Haram terrorists. On the 22nd of April is World Earth Day, while on the 25th is World Malaria Day. 28th is World Day for Safety and Health at Work. Brace yourself and tune in to TVC News this April for in-depth reports, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Only on TVC News. Finding the open doors of Main Street is not just good business, it's the start of the business. Join us every weekend on Business Week.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field,
Taking you through as it happens.
it's fast-paced, hard-hitting,
With investigations that matter.
bringing in news that affects your life.
With sport, entertainment, and business news, so you don't miss a thing.
Experience resourceful coverage with depth.
Every night.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Mr. Honorable Minister, sir, you misinform the public.
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
Who is on your mind?
Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.
Okay, welcome back. And our guest this morning is the Ebonyi State Governor and the APC Senator-elect for Ebonyi South Senatorial District, David Umahi. Thank you very much for making time available for us this morning. Now, I had said that we want to talk about infrastructure delivery as well, but I wanted to pick up, before going in there, I wanted to pick up on something you said, that let no one, in all the consultations and the permutations on all of this, let no one exclude any zone, from the contest. And
No, not the context. Not the context. This contest, for me, I strongly believe that the Senate president position should be zoned to Southeast.
Okay.
And the indices are there. I'm just talking generally in terms of, sharing of positions, in terms of addressing all the issues raised by different regions.
Okay.
There is no region that not be marginalized one way or the other. But when we put everything on the table fairly, starting with Southeast getting the Senate presidency, then other ones should follow. And I think this is what ought to be.
Okay, so you're very particular. Say, go beyond not excluding any zone. As it relates to the Senate president's quest, the Southeast is your firm belief that it is their turn and that they are deserving of this.
Honestly, and in all sense of responsibility, I should even say be very, very modest in this pleading, because I'm in the race. But if you even remove me from the race, God forbid, because God put me in the race. you will find out that by every permutation, by every reasoning, that Southeast should be the #1.
Okay.
I strongly, request and plead for this.
Okay, at this stage, Mr. Governor, let me bring in our viewer. It's an interactive program, you might know. And one of our viewers, Reverend Dominic, has called in from Alimosho. Good morning to you, Reverend Dominic.
Good morning, Yori. Good morning to one of the Eastern brightest governor, Engineer Umahi.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Reverend.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Now,
I do hear you, sir.
Listen to me. If you go to Southeast, you will know that that man speaking to you is the finest. How? I'm not a Senko fan. Ebonyi State is stated from Abuja State. If you go to Abuja today and go to Ebonyi State, you will see what I call non-magic miracles. I preached in Ebonyi in 2000. I went to preach in Ebonyi in 2016. I told my host there's a miracle in this city because
Hallelujah.
Engineer and the people who started the Ebonyi State in 1999 have done a wonderful work. It's one of the beautiful cities in the Southeast. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
What they're saying about Southeast Senate, senatorial candidate is this. I will not support Otikano. I will support you. Look at the reason. We cannot repeat the history of 1999 to 2003, where we have a Senate president of the Southeast called Eminem. Listen to me. And you know how Eminem came into the power and how Eminem left the power because of some scandal there. Who is Eminem? Who is not Eminem? Otikano is a nice man. They have some issue with the FCC. If we must put our best foot forward, we must put the best. Either it's you or somebody else, but not Otikano not because he's a nice person. He has a criminal case standing somewhere. And you know Niger politics. Every day he becomes a state president now, all sorts of things will come up. We now have a repeat of 2015 of National Assembly, National Assembly, where Sadiki goes to court with the Senate. That will not repeat again. And I want to plead to you, sir, when you go to Abuja, take this message. Tell Aswadi to tell the governor of Lagos State, for my sake, for your sake, for the sake of the man, Joey Bukwe, who was in this program yesterday. We have suffered many things because of APC. They should call an ethnic conference in Lagos. They reconcile us in Lagos here. We Igbos in Lagos here love APC. We Igbos in Lagos here support the government in Lagos because it's a picture of good governance in all over the whole Nigeria. Lagos is Nigeria. Nigeria is Lagos. I want to thank my friend George yesterday. I was on in Lagos yesterday, but I watched the program yesterday on YouTube. When George made what I call a nationalistic sentiment that we, me, you, and the Igbos, Abga has won. Who is the majority? APC. For our sake, I have suffered many things. Joey Bokwe has was burnt. I know how they insulted you. Please, we must reconcile non-nationality in Lagos here. What happened in 18 months in Lagos here is not good at all. That must not repeat itself. And we
Okay, thank you very much, Reverend Dominic.
Thank you.
Okay, Governor.
Reverend, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let me, comment on this issue of the Igbos in Lagos and what my views are. During the governorship election, I put up a lot of newspaper adverts, television, pleading with our people to support Governor Sanwo-Olu. Governor Sanwo-Olu has supported our people in Lagos. Asiwaju, when he was governor in Lagos, supported our people. There is this Pastor Ben Akabeze. He said I think is the DG of National Planning in the Buhari's administration. Is a product of Asiwaju. And so Asiwaju has respect for intellectuals. And we are not excluded from that, circle. So I pleaded with them to support Sanwo-Olu. It's not every Igbo man that supported Sanwo-Olu. It's not every Igbo man that, voted for PDP or Labour. But let me advise. Lagos is southwest. Lagos is southwest. There's no doubt about that. If you go to New York, they are the indigenous of New York. They are indigenes of Lagos State. When you visit a place, you prosper in the place. That should not make you to undermine the people of that state. It is wisdom I'm talking. You can abuse me, you can say all sorts of things, but it doesn't remove the fact that you cannot place something on nothing or nothing on something. So I advise our people, in as much you have all the freedom to do your business, but you must also respect the culture of the people and respect the people. I did not agree when a traditional ruler I saw on TV was saying that they will invite IPOP to come and fight. That is not good. So let us, do our business with wisdom. Let's do our business with wisdom. I've contacted my friend and my brother, Sanwo-Olu, and he's not averse to doing everything possible to reconcile everybody in Lagos State. Okay. He's the father, and everybody in Lagos State belongs to him. But anywhere our people may find themselves, let them live in peace and in respect with the indigenes of those areas. Okay. No one can be more Catholic than Pope. Okay. And if people come to Southeast, I also insist they respect the people of Southeast. They respect their culture, they respect the security laws, and so on and so forth. So this is my position. And
okay, Governor, I beg your pardon. Sorry for interrupting you, Governor, because I'm keeping somebody waiting. Kesandu has called in from Owerri. Kesandu, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. My name is Kesandu Kemko. Your Excellency, I greet you, sir. Your Excellency, please, just a brief reaction to what you just said. You know, as Igbo people, we are peace-loving people anywhere you find us. We do our business genuinely and try.
It can't be everybody, my brother. It can't be everybody that will be peace-loving. The same thing with other ethnic nationalities.
To reasonable extent, sir. To reasonable extent, sir. But we've seen situations where traditional rulers from Lagos abuse and say sort of things against the Igbos. But that is aside. So we just want everybody to live in Nigeria harmoniously. Because Nigeria belongs to everybody. Nobody is more Nigerian than another. Having said that, please, the issue of the Senate president, sir, this is the first time I'm listening to you about this particular issue. I want to say I'm proud of you, the way you presented your case. You don't seem very, very, you don't want it at all costs. I actually like that presentation. You're saying it as you're going to do your part and work hard as everything depends on you and as everything depends on God. I actually saw in news this morning when they said APC are trying to zone the Senate president to the south. I'm not a fan of APC. I am not, and I've never been, but I think I strongly believe that it's high time they listen to the genuine and aspirations of people like you who have actually contributed to APC. Yes, some of us might not be comfortable when you joined APC, but you've actually kept pace with them. You've done your part, and some other of your brothers. And you know why some of us are comfortable? We said the transition committee, and there is no Igbo man there. I don't know what is your take about that. So I am appealing
to Mr. Kesandu, so many issues. Let me give the governor a chance to respond. Thank you very much, Kesandu, as always, for calling in.
I also disagree with the leadership of the party that the 14-man transition committee, that there should be no Igbo man there. It's a very bad perception, and I've made my point clear about that. What is right is right. At least one Igbo man should be allowed to be a member. You see, we have to continue to work on this perception of marginalization. Let's not allow it to grow, because we staked our lives and reputation, to assure our people that this will not be business as usual. So this is very important. Second one I want to say is, and I'm talking to all Nigerians, you see, when they say Ojuzo Carlo has a EFCC case, Akpabio has a EFCC case, I think that is not right. We should be talking about the character and capabilities of people. That people have taken you to court does not mean you've been convicted. And so that should not be used as a yardstick to measure, my brothers, Ojuzo Carlo or Senator Akpabio. We should be talking about the character that can deliver. The antecedents, what such, fellows have done in the previous positions or present one they occupy. And so we should leave the issue of EFCC, by the side until the court has so decided. It's not everybody that's taken to EFCC or ICPC that is, a rogue or that is a bad person. We shouldn't use that at all as a yardstick. Because anybody can write petition against you, even against me when I leave office. You know, Casanovas can do that. And then they say, oh, Umahi has a case in FCC, it's not qualified. So let's take aside these sentiments until such people are convicted or otherwise. They must be adjourned to be good and good people. But then you can now look at other credentials of theirs to see whom is best qualified for the job. That's my stake as far as that is concerned. Thank you, my brother from Imo State and my reverend that called from Lagos.
Indeed. Thank you very much. And also for your words on the sort of inter-ethnic misunderstandings that you sort of, explained there, because it never has been a permanent feature, but it seems that there's always a cycle every 4 years or so at an election juncture. All these things will come up. In fact, there are people who are saying that perhaps there's even a fifth columnist, because after all, these people are so intermingled, they have intermarried, they have become one, and nobody even remembers anything until we have an event like this. Then all hell breaks loose.
I agree with you.
Indeed. Now, you were saying something earlier about an airport, is it? So because we've taken the burning issue, which is the most important one today in terms of news, but infrastructure delivery, you've achieved no mean feat in there. Would you like to, speak to Nigerians? It's only people of Ebonyi that know about this. But what was that when you, from here, you intend to go to the airport? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I'm happy that my media team are hearing you, that they're not doing much to showcase what we have done. But everything we have done in this state, I give glory to God. I always say that it's not by my power nor by my might, and I'm grateful to God, grateful to Ebonyi people, grateful to the House of Assembly, and my team. We together shook the bridge, and this is what it is. So the airport, I'm happy that all the officials of Ministry of Aviation, each time they came to the airport, they never believed us. They say, who will believe our story? Who will believe our story? So this airport will be showcased tomorrow. There will be 2 test flights, by APs, one coming from Lagos by 1 o'clock. And there are people there and their friends and visitors will join that APs, and they'll be landing about 2 o'clock. There will be a short ceremony. And then from Abuja, our people and visitors and friends will also join by, I think, 12:50 or thereabout. Landing will be also by 2 o'clock. So these 2 flights will be made tomorrow. The officials of the Ministry of Aviation, whom I'm so grateful to them, the minister, the directors, the DGs, we are very, very grateful for their cooperation and assistance. Without God using them, it would have been impossible to achieve this feat. But we pride, our airport as one of the best this country can offer. It's difficult for me to say I'm black and proud. If you're black, you shouldn't, also say you're proud. But it is there for people to see. The first airport that is built on concrete runway, the first airport that the apron, the tarmac is the largest in this country, best that could be configured for this airport. It will happen tomorrow, and subsequently, Mr. President will come and they commission the whole. But the moment this airport test flight is done, we intend to pay for our people and our friends and other, people who intend to use this airport coming from Abuja and Lagos. So we intend to pay for, people 2 flights every week, coming and going. And we will keep that until I leave office. And I believe strongly that another 2-3 months, my successor will also adopt that method so that we can, work and make this airport the busiest airport in Southeast. That's the intention. The airport is a monument.
Indeed.
To be very proud of.
Indeed. And the other question I felt I'd sort of broach is that everybody should be proud. Indeed, everybody in Ebonyi would be proud of the airport, such as you have described. But I wanted to ask, I've heard some critics say, how much of a prestige project is it as opposed to one that is really going to be functional in terms of Ebonyi having the capacity to maintain. By capacity, I'm not just talking about money, but traffic and all of that in Ebonyi State, because I've heard critics speak like that before.
Yeah, thank you very much. When we build the best and the most beautiful and largest mall, and you can't find anywhere in West Africa, people also criticized it. Today, that mall has offered more than 450 jobs to Ebonyans and non-Ebonyans. And that mall is one of the busiest malls in the whole of South.
Well, there's the governor there. Thank God that the audio has stayed for a while. He's just talking about,
And we have gone into, green houses side by side with our famous Abakaliki rice. And we are presently testing our rice for export, even though the rice is in a very high demand all over the country. We also have the largest mushroom house in Nigeria. We are making efforts to start mushroom for export, which will be used for medical uses. This is the side of export that we targeted in building that airport. Some people say it's a cargo airport. No, it's an international airport, that has local wing, international wing, and it serves for both cargo and the passengers. Don't forget that we have boundary with Abia State, with Enugu State, with Benue State, with Cross River State. And we are like, the Kogi State, where you must pass through to go to certain places. So our idea is to get passengers from these states to make up the traffic in Ebonyi State for the airport. And this is going to work, and I can assure it's going to work. It is pure investment.
Well, that's a fine place to leave it, and I want to thank you very much, Mr. Governor, Ebonyi State Governor, and APC Senator-elect for Ebonyi South Senatorial District, Dave Umahi. Thank you very much.
Can you wish me?
Yes. Yes. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. It froze again, but I was just thanking you, and I do believe we have to leave now. But thank you very much. That's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now. Unfortunately...
They are real. They are the drama queens of Abuja.
If you're not real, you will be consumed, okay?
Stop calling me my mom joke. You
We have an intruder in the house. The meter of the disgrace is rising. You're old.
Who said I need deliverance? Ha! Deliverance!
It wasn't me. She got me running. Wasn't it? Arafat pulled me aside for a chat. No.
The Real Housewives of Abuja, only on Showmax.
To watch this and other Showmax originals, simply add Showmax to your DSTV subscription using the My DSTV app.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopEx TV. Do you struggle with having an active and healthy lifestyle due to your busy schedule? Do you find it difficult to make it to the gym? You want to improve your overall health, but don't know where and how to start? Medical experts agree that walking, running, and jogging are amongst the best ways to stay fit and enjoy a great active and healthy lifestyle. What if there was a convenient and affordable way to improve your health, improve your mood, and lose weight right in your own home? Introducing the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill, the compact foldable treadmill that makes being active and losing weight fast and easy. Just unfold it and walk, jog, or run while you watch your favorite programs on TV. And when you're done, just fold it and store it away. Now that's convenience. The secret is its advanced design that houses a 1-horsepower motor that is twice the size of most treadmills, packed into a nice compact unit, powering every step you take. You get the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill System complete with a rugged commercial-grade ultra-durable 12 different exercise programs, as well as a magnetic safety key for added security.
The ShopEx treadmill has really helped me get back in shape after childbirth. I love it because it's compact and can fit anywhere in the house. And when I'm done, I fold and put it away. Easy peasy.
This is the best piece of equipment for people like me who want to stay active without leaving the home. I simply unfold it and use it while I watch my favorite program on TV.
Joining a gym can cost an absolute fortune, and you could be paying up to 600,000 naira in annual gym fees. Get the ShopEx treadmill to save the cost and work out from the convenience of your home. You could pay 500,000 naira for a treadmill like this, but you can get the ShopEx treadmill for not 400,000 naira, not even 300,000 naira. Order right now and get this for just 264,950 naira only. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the ShopEx digital compact treadmill delivered to you for free wherever you are in Nigeria. And it comes with a ShopEx 30-day money-back guarantee. Hurry, limited stock available. So, call the number on your screen now or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopEx TV.
Keep up with innovative, revealing, and groundbreaking happenings in the world of brands and brand builders in both. Mingle with people and brands that make the cut and the personalities that keep reinventing the trends and traditions in the marketing world. All are exciting one-stop shop for marketing buffs. Marketing Edge on TV. You are always right on time with the right people and movers and shakers of the world of marketing as they share their views and ideas on the business and challenges of advertising, corporate affairs, media strategy, and the unfolding exciting world of digital marketing. Join the trendsetters and key decision makers as they shape opinions and project into the future of the marketing landscape for 30 exhilarating minutes on this channel. Stay ahead, be thrilled to beat, be marketing savvy with Marketing Edge on TV. Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello there, welcome to TVC News. At this time, I am Mike Okwache. We begin in Sudan, where a U.S. brokered ceasefire between its warring generals enters its second day, but remains fragile as witnesses report continuing airstrikes in the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group says it has seized an oil refinery and power plant. To bring succor to citizens stranded in the country, the Khartoum and other cities. To facilitate the repatriation, the government has released 150 million naira for hiring 40 buses to convey these citizens from Sudan to Cairo in Egypt. The chairman of the Nigerians and Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, who confirmed the payment, said that the evacuees would take off this morning. Giving an update on the evacuation process via her Twitter handle, the NIDCOM boss said that, and I quote, "They are still in Khartoum. At Nema, Nigeria has sorted all payments, but there are still a few logistical delays. They will likely proceed early in the morning. A war situation is not a normal situation. We are all anxiously waiting to receive them." End of quote. And foreign countries are taking advantage of the temporary suspension of hostilities to move their nationals from Sudan as deadly fighting between the two forces entered the second week. The director of the Special Duties and National Emergency Management Agency, who doubles as chairman of NEMA's Committee for the Evacuation of the Stranded Nigerians from Sudan, Onimode Bandele, said that the government met with government officials in Egypt on how to move Nigerians through Luxor. Following the delay in evacuating students from Sudan, the National Association of Nigerian Students arranged the transportation of some students through Ethiopia. They were, however, denied access to Ethiopia by the country's authorities because they lacked security clearance. Mr. Bandele, who advised Nigerians against self-evacuation, said that such an engagement was risky. And away from that, traders of the Bodija plank market in Ibadan are still in shock over the tragic fire that engulfed the market yesterday. Few of them who spoke with the TVC News said that the cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained, as it happened in an instant, and they are unable to salvage their wares. Now, according to them, the fire was aided by the wind as it was about to rain at the time. They hailed the quick response and bravery of firefighters who brought the situation under control, preventing it from spreading to other parts of the market. Chairman of the Oyo State Plank Sellers Association, Waliu Aderoju, said that the total cost of damage cannot be ascertained yet. Our correspondent in Oyo State, Olaide Oyewole, joins me now for update on this development. Olaide, it's good to have you join me now. Can you bring us up to speed? What do we know about this fire and the level of devastation so far?
So, Mike, I can confirm to you that as we speak, the traders and eyewitnesses are yet to, figure out the actual cause of this fire outbreak. But I can confirm to you that the fire caused a significant damage to the affected areas. So, just this morning, when we spoke with some of the affected traders, in fact, they told us that one person actually told us that one person actually got injured, and he was severely injured. And how did this happen? They said it just happened so fast, and because it was about to rain at that time, so the wind that was blowing, because of the rain, escalated the fire and blew the fire, so wide, and they could not contain the fire. So he got injured and he was taken to the hospital. And I can confirm to you that there was a significant damage in the affected areas.
All right. Has there been any statement from the state government or even the local government where this has taken place? Any statement from the authorities yet?
As I speak, the Oyo State government has not reacted to the situation. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has also not reacted to the incident. So, but then I spoke with the Southwest coordinator of NEMA before now, and he told me that before evening, they are going to address the press and, give an update of what they are going to do eventually today. Mike.
All right. Thank you, Olaide Oyewole, our reporter from Ibadan, Oyo State. Thank you very much for bringing us up to speed on this. The recent killings and displacements of some residents of Benue State have added to the huge humanitarian crisis and burden of the state. Now, this is according to the Executive Secretary of State Emergency Management Agency, Emmanuel Shio. He was speaking in Makurdi during the monthly distribution of relief materials to internally displaced persons in the state. Mr. Shio said that following renewed attacks in the state, more than 18,000 displacements were recorded in 1 month as a result of increased attacks. About 100 persons were killed in attacks in Umogidi in Otukbo and Mbam in Guma, and in Apa local government areas in Otukbo, in Benue State. And Otukbo had about 8,000 IDPs who are camped in Adoka in Otukbo local government, while 10,000 others are in Apa local government taking refuge in Ubokbo, the local government headquarters. The executive secretary fears many persons and communities will not be captured if the national population and housing census exercise slated for May 2023 holds as planned.
It's indeed. The census is indeed about counting of human beings and their houses. Am I correct? So if that is correct, the big challenge we have is that when you don't have people, when the people are displaced. They have left their respective communities and homes, and they are in RDP's camps. I see a big problem with that, and at our level, we are complaining about that seriously to federal government. To have a rethink, we are even calling for suspension of that program for now.
About 48 hours after his return to the country, President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu continues to receive guests in his Asokoro residence in Abuja. The latest is the leading contender for the speakership position in the 10th House of Representatives, Mukhtar Betara. The member representing Bayo Shani and Kwaya Kusa Federal Constituency of Borno State has been canvassing support for his speakership aspiration with many members-elect, former lawmakers, and indeed stakeholders throwing the weight behind the lawmaker, who they described as a man of the people. His campaign and consultation to the president-elect is one out of many consultations he has embarked upon in the last 3 months ahead of June inauguration. In a video made available by his campaign media office earlier today, the president-elect personally held Mr. Betara's hand as he led him into the inner room for discussions. Mr. Betara, who currently chairs the House of Representatives Appropriation Committee, had earlier exchanged warm pleasantries with the incoming commander-in-chief shortly after some photo sessions. Also seen in the video alongside him, the outgoing president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, former Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi, and a host of other loyalists of the president-elect. And the news reporter Olawakon captures some APC chieftains and supporters who visited the president-elect at his residence on Tuesday. We have the report.
It is 24 hours after the president-elect Bola Tinubu arrived from his vacation to France, where he received a rousing welcome by party chieftains and supporters from the presidential wing of the Abuja airport. Among the visitors who made the list to his Abuja residence on the second day of dawn are National Chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Adamu, Senator Godswill Akpabio, Senator Barau Jibrin, Governor Abiodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State, former Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, and many others. They say President-elect Bola Tinubu has what it takes to work with the best hands to build a better Nigeria.
The President-elect has been away for 1 month's rest, and it's not just an ordinary rest, a rest of thought, rest of planning, rest of deep reflections on the country and all that is going on here. And I believe that what is coming will be great surprise to Nigerians.
On the race for the leadership of the 10th Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio said he has a high chance of becoming the president of the Senate in the 10th Assembly.
I've had the privilege of serving the Senate before as a minority leader, and so and used as a Senate president. So the chances for somebody like me will be very high because of the fact that my colleagues already know my track record, both in terms of governance, in terms of legislative business, and even the wide range of experience I've had in politics.
Former Senator representing Benue Northeast, Barnabas Gemade, and former Nasarawa State Governor, Senator Tanko Almakura, said there is the need for zoning to be able to achieve equitable distribution of principal positions in the next administration.
There's always been a yearning for zoning in Nigeria since 1999. You know, this Fourth Republic has come with a new dimension, and everybody expects that there should be zoning whenever government is about to be formed. And I believe that both assemblymen and senators in this country know that there will be some form of zoning so that they can have a spread of all the principal positions in that sector of government.
My admonition to my colleagues and all Nigerians alike is to look at the trajectory and how one has come around in the scheme of things. the antecedents, character, and characteristics of such people angling for this position. And I can say without any fear of contradiction that the people that are putting themselves forward for this position are people that are eminently qualified and have paid their dues.
As Nigerians look forward to the May 29 inauguration, it is expected that all hands will be on deck to put the right pegs in the right holes to ensure a successful Tinubu-Shettima administration. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Abuja.
A non-governmental organization says the young adults perceive domestic violence problems as grievous, whereas older persons regard land problems the same way. A 2023 report of the organization notes that domestic violence and land problems mostly affect people living in rural areas, while employment and housing are more prevalent in urban areas. Judiciary correspondent Celestina Ira has more on this.
In Nigeria, people experience various legal problems in their daily lives. The 5 most common are disputes with neighbors, domestic violence, land disputes, crime, and housing problems. Among these disputes with neighbors are the most common legal problems faced by Nigerians in the past year. These amount for over 50% of all neighbor-related problems, as the COVID-19 pandemic and related lockdown may have contributed to its rise in the neighborhood problems. The second most prevalent legal problem category in Nigeria is domestic violence. This most often takes the form of emotional or psychological abuse, physical violence, and economic deprivation. These specific problem categories amount for over 80% of all domestic violence problems. According to the Justice Needs and Satisfaction in Nigerian 2023 reports, in Nigeria, people frequently turn to their inner cycle to resolve most of their pressing legal problems and often seeking help from family and friends. This can be due to several reasons, owing to no access to justice, funds to procure lawyers, and the time frame of which they can get justice due to the long adjournment of the case. I'd like to invite Femi. To bridge this gap, the NJN 2023 report outlined the challenges and provides solutions faced by Nigerians in getting justice.
Where things that are unfair happen to you, who do you turn to? People go to the police, but the police you're going to, have they been trained on resolving justice issues? The religious leaders are turned to more than lawyers. That's what the research shows us. Traditional rulers, when it comes to land matters in rural areas, are turned to more than lawyers. So they need to start talking to each other in that ecosystem to maybe see how best to make the Nigerian person more comfortable about receiving justice, not just which institution has power over the other.
To look at constitutional amendments in order to maybe electoral matters should go to a court that could be designated as a constitutional court. It will just be a court set up to deal with those matters, thereby freeing these other courts and allowing the judges and justices, increase the number of justices of the Court of Appeal and the High Court. But then beyond just doing that, you have to empower the courts.
Access to justice is a right of every citizen, irrespective of the social or political class. However, studies have shown that citizens living in the rural area have difficult access to justice. These reports outline the problems they face and also provide solutions on how justice can be brought to them. Celestina Ira, TVC News, Abuja.
You're watching the Midday News on TVC. We'll bring you more reports after this break. Stay with us. In the month of April, 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day, while April 7th is World Health Day, and on the 14th is the 9th anniversary when government girls secondary school students in Chibok, Borno State, were abducted by Boko Haram terrorists. On the 22nd of April is World Earth Day, while on the 25th is World Malaria Day. 28th is World Day for Safety and Health at Work. Brace yourself and tune in to TVC News this April for in-depth reports, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Only on TVC News. You're watching the Midday News on TVC. Now, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, says that with collaboration and proper processing of information, insecurity and other disasters experienced in the country could be nipped in the bud. He stated this at the commissioning of an early warning system center at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs in Lagos. Senior correspondent Ivy Kano has details.
Nigeria has continued to experience different disasters ranging from insecurity, climate change and others. Worried by the impact of such disaster, the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs went to work. The Chief of Defense Staff arrived at the venue of the official commissioning of the Early Warning System Center in company of other dignitaries. The Director General of the Institute and the Chairman set the tone for the event.
The world is better because we can track, we can anticipate, we can address, mitigate, and actually even nip in the bud things that would probably have become disastrous for humankind.
Even the lame will escape a war if given sufficient advance warning. However, you have a problem. Nigeria seems to be, for the time, a place where lots of ideas, lots of best policies, lots of laws are put in place, but they fall flat on their face because some of these documents are gathering dust on shelves, implementation is low or non-existent.
Chief of the Defense Staff and Minister of Foreign Affairs spoke on the importance of the center.
It was necessary that we look at, in broad terms, all areas of human existence to which certain analysis can be made, certain forecasting can be done, and then proper tasking can be given to the relevant MDAs to be able to take proactive actions or proactive measures so that we don't have to fight wars.
Through intelligence and information sharing, these early warning mechanisms will surely be of immense benefit to the fight against insurgencies, extreme violence, terrorism, herdsmen clashes, and other communal clashes.
With that, guests were allowed access into the center. The DG says the crisis rocking Sudan already has the center's attention.
You know, we've been analyzing the situation in Sudan since it erupted, and you know, we have our own analysis of that situation, the diagnosis and the recommendations therefrom.
As they depart, they are optimistic that the nation and the world at large will begin to feel the impact of the center. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.
The Kogi state government has described the kidnap of the traditional ruler of Agbara Bunu in Kaba Bunu local government area, David Obadofun, as a heinous and a criminal and irreprehensible. The government says that significant progress has been made in apprehending the suspected masterminds of the heinous act. In a statement by the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fangu, the state government is working with security agencies to ensure those behind the attack and kidnap face the full wrath of the law. The government further stated that the reports of investigations will be made public and perpetrators will be brought to book. It also promised to continue to strengthen its anti-crime architecture to prevent breach of peace and to also respond rapidly to any breach of the peace in the state. And let's turn our attention to the Niger Delta region, where activists and other stakeholders say that the incoming administration will be assessed based on its ability to address the lingering environmental challenges of oil exploration. The reality of the problem and the role of government took center stage when they met in Port Harcourt to chart a way forward for the region. Senior reporter Uche Okoro was there.
The discovery of oil in Nigeria in 1956 has been a blessing and a curse to the country, depending on one side of the divide. What became a source of revenue for the government and the oil companies quickly translated to pollution and underdevelopment of oil-producing communities. Conversations like this one, organized by the Home of Mother Earth Foundation to change the narrative, have been ongoing But environmentalists say successive governments have only paid lip service to the call for action.
Pollution is a daily occurrence. The well blowout of the Roro 1 well off the coast of Ondo State has been going on since April 2020. 3 years now. Nobody has done anything about it. So it's really difficult to applaud any arm of the government of having done anything. The only significant thing the government has done has been to start the cleanup of Ogoni.
There is what they call oil producing area. It's like the 13% coming. It goes to the government. It doesn't go to the government, the coastal areas or the people that are suffering are having the oil and gas. It doesn't go to them.
It's been more than 6 decades of oil exploration in Nigeria to the benefit of the national economy and operators, but at huge cost to the Niger Delta environment and its people. With the coming of a new government, there is hope that things will change.
Community people do not have access to these petroleum products like petrol and kerosene. So I think that is what has energized that. So those products must be accessible by majority of the people who live in our rural communities. That's the only way they can be and partner with government in making sure that oil theft is reduced to the barest minimum.
For government, there's a move in the world now to recognize ecocide as a law. Ecocide in the same range as genocide, as war against humanity, war crimes, as unusual crimes, so that anybody who has damaged the territory, the land, should be held accountable and they should pay for it.
A manifesto put forward by this think tank is also calling on the 10th National Assembly to review the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. They argue that the legislation reinforces the dominance of the oil companies over the host communities, amongst other flaws. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
The Lagos State Parks and Garages Administrators Ad Hoc Committee says that its lawyers have been briefed regarding last week's judgment which ordered the restatement of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria in the state. LASPAGA, as it's called, also said that during its meeting on Tuesday at its secretariat, that appropriate actions will be taken where necessary. It also denied reports stating that the National Industrial Court dissolved its body in the judgment. The ad hoc committee, headed by a monarch, the Oniba of Iba, Suleiman Raji, said that nowhere that judgment did the court dissolve it, as no such claim or relief was ever sought or made an issue before the court. The members of the committee also passed a vote of no confidence on the national chairman of the RTEN, Mohammed Musa.
Of Lagos State Parks and Garages Administrators Ad Hoc Committee as a body was never mentioned by the claimant in its processes or claim before the court. Neither was the Lagos State Parks and Garages Administrators Ad Hoc Committee as a body ever made a party in the said action. The position is that the Lagos State Parks and Garages Administrators Ad Hoc Committee is not dissolved, and there is no order of court whatsoever which dissolved the Lagos State Parks and Garages Administrators Ad Hoc Committee.
All right, you're watching TVC News at Noon. Now, this is where we wrap up on the news at this time. You can stay tuned for more update at top of the hour. I am Mike Okwache. Bye now.
Niger, are you ready for the Fuse Talent Show? Don't miss the action. Watch young talented Nigerians in dance, tech and innovation.
Have you faced any challenges while you were creating this?
Example is this. Fashion and music.
I'm gonna pray.
As they ignite their fuse to grab a slice of 32 million naira in the Fuse Talent Show. Catch the episodes on Silverbird Television, 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Sunday. Sound City TV, 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Sunday. The Fuse is powered by Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers.
The TVC News at 7 and the TV